I've got something a little different today. Ice fishing season is closing in on us. So I'm kind of prepping my stuff. I've got heaters and tip-ups and sleds you can see sitting in the background. One of the things I want to do this year is I want to have an alternate option for heating my pop-up ice shack other than the classic propane heater. One of the things that's starting to get real popular is the ice camping or the overnight stays in pop-ups like mine here that I've got in the background. To me, that sounds like nothing but a great time, and I want to get in on it. One of the drawbacks, however, is the fear of carbon monoxide poisoning from the propane heaters. Some guys say, hey, put an alarm in it. A lot of the propane heaters have automatic shutoffs if the CO2 level gets too high. Just something I don't want to mess with or have to plan for. Plus, I really like the wood heat and the old-fashioned cast iron stove. So I am going to convert my pop-up into a hot tent by putting in a vent for a wood stove. A lot of guys are doing this. This isn't my own original idea. I've got here a large welding blanket, and what I'm going to do is I've got this window here that I've taken out of my tent. It's just one of these windows. You can see they just Velcro in. So I've pulled this one out. I'm going to use this as a template and cut myself a piece of welding blanket the same size. I've got some Velcro floating around here somewhere, and then just do the Velcro along the edges and then have that option to run my wood stove pipe out the tent. So let's jump right into it. Thanks to the magic of editing, it's going to take about that long. In reality, it's been a couple days. This part of the project, I should say, took me a little longer than I expected it to. I bought Velcro with an adhesive back on it and stuck it down onto my welding blanket here, but as soon as you cut into this style of welding blanket, it really frays, and just the adhesive alone wasn't doing enough. So I actually, thanks to my lady friend, who's a little bit handier with a sewing machine than myself, was able to stitch that Velcro on. And then where my pipe is going to go through the blanket, we just put a bunch of stitching around it, just basically to alleviate some of that fraying issue. There are several different types of welding blankets out there. This is kind of a fiberglass style blanket. I know there's some other felt style blankets. This blanket, however, only cost me about $30 at Northern Tool and Equipment, whereas some of those other styles of blankets are going to run up to $100. So basically just based on the price point, I went with this style of blanket. But in the amount of time that it took to do this, my stove showed up. So let's head out to the lake. Let's take a look at that stove and let's get this baby all heated up. All right, to the lake. Well, here we are. We made it to the lake. We're on the ice. As you can see, I've got my welding blanket window there. I've got my little camp stove, the old guide gear camp stove from Sportsman's Guide. And I've run my pipe out. Just looking at it, this pipe came with a section that has a damper in it. I got a little excited about getting out on the ice. And maybe if I had taken an extra day or two, what I ultimately want to do is cut one of these pipes down and weld a 45-degree angle in there just to get it out, to give myself a little relief from my tent here. So that'll be coming in the future. But for today, we're just going to spark it up, make sure everything works here. So we got the pipe running out, and here we go. Let's get a fire rolling in this baby. Got some good dry oak wood here, thanks to Buddy, who's joining me on the lake today. He's out tending the tip-ups. We are fishing while we do this, so do it the easy way here. Yep. Torch going. So we got a nice hot fire rolling in the tent. One of the things I need to consider, I got to work out,
is I've got a few extra pieces of pipe here. Right now I've just got the one with the ash dispenser on the end of it. Ultimately, I want to get this a little bit farther away from the tent, but I need to come up with some type of way, whether it be a tripod or some way to suspend this, because it's not coming straight off of my stove. So at this angle, I'm going to need something to support this pipe. So that's one other thing I've got to work out. I've got a few ideas, but that's going to be a small little hiccup and just something that'll be easily portable along with the stove. So just one more thing to consider. So I'm super excited about this.
Well, we got a nice roaring fire going in here, and it is throwing off major amounts of heat. You know, I've run a buddy heater before, and in comparison, you know, it takes a little bit longer to get your fire rolling, get your heating source going, but once you get that heating source going, it is throwing off tons of heat. And like I said earlier, the major advantage to this is there's no carbon monoxide, so you're not going to have any carbon monoxide issues. You don't got to worry about venting. And another big one that a lot of people neglect to think about is a second byproduct of burning propane in an unvented heater is water vapor. So you're not getting that, you know, that humidity in your shack by burning wood. It's a lot. That's why people say it's a drier heat, is because as it burns, you're not throwing off water vapor. You know, you're not having your windows frosting up. You're not getting that frost all over on the inside of your shack. On those super cold days, you're going to come out of a wood heated shack and still feel super warm because you haven't got that water vapor, you know, in your clothes and on your person, that when you step out into that cold weather, just in the long run makes you colder. So I really love the wood heat. I've still got a few things to work out. I don't know how it's going to work. You know, this doesn't feel hot at all right now. I mean, this baby is just kicking out tons of heat. I don't know how much wood it's going to take me to fish for a 12-hour day, but those are all things I plan on figuring out here in the future. I do plan on doing a couple comparison videos as far as the wood burner versus the Big Buddy and the propane heaters. You know, what's going to be better for, you know, a quick setup, how fast it's going to heat you up, you know, what's going to keep you warmer longer. You know, I'm going to do a few cooking videos to see which is better for cooking on. You know, I'll just see, hey, how long, if I put a cup of water on the top of this, how long is it going to take to boil? So I've got some other plans in line here, so if you want to take a look at those, they should be coming. You know, maybe subscribe to the channel and keep tuning in. And you know, one more thing I should mention too is the price point. If you want a, you know, a high quality buddy heater, it's going to run you about 100 to 150 bucks. I got this stove, which is super sturdy, for 100 bucks off of the Sportsman's Guide website. There's a ton of these stoves out there for cheaper or more expensive, depending on what you want. You know, the nice thing about this is, if a guy like, you know, for a guy like me, I have access to unlimited amounts of wood, so my heat source is relatively free versus having to, you know, buy propane, you know, 3 to 4 times a winter to fill up a 20-pound tank, depending on how much you fish. So just one more thing to consider. You know, thanks for watching, and if you have any questions about what I was doing, or even suggestions, things you think might make it better, you know, drop me a comment. So thanks for watching.